Hello once again, everyone, and welcome back to Getting More Out of Ferdinand. Sorry for the long delay, but there's quite a lot going on. So, we're going to be tackling assault number 9 today, which is also going to be our first one that deals with the traversal. So it says, as you are traversing to the right and left with your opponent, he goes to throw a medium at you. Now, what a medium is most likely in this case is a 7 cut, as Ferdinand does not actually describe the 7, and it is meant to be a blow that is directed toward the head. He mentions that in other ways. Now, in regards to traversal, I will be the one throwing the medium for this first part. It can come from a couple different places, but usually the easiest way to do it is to move into a hanging guard and then turn the wrist over as you roll down. And in general, if you want to make your 7s nice and powerful, let that partial molinet happen first, and that does help significantly in throwing that power. But in this case, what we're going to exploit is that he has to take that moment to turn it to make it a really good cut. This can also be used against people who do what we have dubbed the Dark Souls cut, which is where when they go to cut a 7, they pull their arm back, exposing that big gap. Now, you got to be a bit ballsy to try this, no lie, but let's go through the lesson. Now, you could do this from either position. My personal preference is I prefer to be in the outside guard, and as they're throwing this cut, I step in with my traversal. Now, this is very similar to a motion from Page, wherein you catch. You don't want to catch in this instance. This is a cut through. We want to just go straight through Eric's arm and then move on to our next action, because since we're throwing a 2 cut, I don't really have that much pressure. He's going to pass through. I want to make sure I am no longer underneath him when that happens. In the case of Page, we're throwing a 3 cut, which will catch him. So, he raises to throw that medium. I step in, then I'm going to step out again as I continue my traversal, and I can either throw a second blow onto his arm or just guard in the outside. So essentially all my footwork is wide stance, step in, so traverse, forward traverse, and then just complete the traverse, and I will be over here. The timing, meanwhile, is it's all wrist cut, right? As soon as he raises up, just kick that out there and keep moving. The biggest thing is if you find yourself having trouble throwing this, or landing it rather than not getting hit, you are probably throwing it far too late. I want to get him as he's bringing it up, and as soon as that wrist is exposed, if his sword starts to actually line up to come down, I'm probably going to get cracked as I do this, and I'd be just better off going into the catch or moving into St. George. But let's switch sides, show that again. So once more, he and I are traversing around, right? We're moving where we are, etc. He goes to throw that medium. So, through, and you don't actually have to cut him the second time. You can also just go into an outside guard, and you'll be plenty safe about whatever return guard he might throw, though it is certainly bragging rights to be able to hit him twice. One more time on that. So traversing, right, moving around, 1, and I'm safe against whatever he throws. Now, if you want to put this into a mobile drill, and we'll be talking more about this when we get to some of the other traversals, much like we had initially for the first couple assaults, all you need to do is just do what Eric and I are essentially doing. We're both just traversing back and forth. One of you is leading, one of you is following, and at any time Eric wants, he can throw that medium, which is my signal to throw my counter cut. But otherwise, thank you very much, Eric. And thank you all very much for watching. We'll be back on track with, hopefully, weekly updates as we finish off this series. We only have a few more to go, and then we will be done with Ferdinand. We'll start on something else. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching. We'll go over some other techniques another time.